good evening, wherever you are in the world. We pray that you guys have had a wonderful day today. I wanted to get on here and talk about a couple of things that, in reading today, the a uh, statistical brief that was put out by the U.S. Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Statistics. Um, I just wanted to talk to us today about what we're seeing in our communities, and more importantly, unpack the why. Why? What's happening? How do we get here? And more importantly, how do we fix it? Uh, Crime is on the rise, and everyone's being affected. However, look at the numbers based on what the Justice Department's put out. Um, where is our community? The numbers reflect, and at least the numbers regarding 2018. When we look at the crime rate, the national violent crime rate, back in 18, which looks like whites were listed as number one in terms of crime, violent crimes, 45.9%, and then blacks were 33%. Latinos and Hispanics, 17.6, Indians, 19, Asians, roughly 13%. We're talking about violent crimes now, those who commit violent crimes. And then Native Hawaiians, other Pacific Islanders, roughly about 3% in terms of violent crimes. Nonviolent crime was almost the same, just about the same, where whites were roughly 38%, blacks were roughly 36%. In terms of the number of crimes, nonviolent crimes that occurred back in 2018. Now, one would say that African Americans were leading the pack, but we are not. However, when we look at the incarceration rate, blacks lead the rate of incarceration. The question becomes why and how? How do we get here? More importantly, how do we fix it? So I'd like you guys to chime in as we go over these numbers and look at the causative factors of why African Americans lead the incarceration rate. Other communities lead the arrest rate and the charges. It appears to be an imbalance. So I wanted to get on here and just talk to us a little bit about what we're seeing, what you're seeing, and want you to chime in. Feel free to submit your questions in the chat box there, and we can unpack this a bit. Please like and share and subscribe to our channel. All right. And let's talk security. Let's talk crime and how we can reduce crime. They said in 2018, based on the data from the FBI Uniform Crime Report program, Black people were overrepresented among persons arrested for nonviolent crimes. 33% and 30% and for serious non-fatal crimes, whites roughly 36%. But yet the incarceration rate is much higher for blacks than it is whites and other races, which begs the question, why? So I want you all to chime in and tell me what's going on. Why is that the case? Is that something that the African American community can control? Can we change those numbers? And if so, how? So I want to ask you, what are some of the causative factors that have African Americans the highest incarcerated? Yet they do crimes as often, as much as other races. And why are the numbers much lower in the Asian community, Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders communities, the Indian community? Why are rates so low in terms of violent crime, nonviolent crimes? Why is it? Again, more importantly, how can we fix it? If these numbers are true, we have no reason to doubt them. Uh, then is this a learned behavior? Is this an issue of a poverty of the mind and the purse? I want to unpack that. I'd like to have a discussion with intelligent men and women, as my brother says, be one, black first. I get it. But how do we fix this challenge? I don't call them problems. All that we go through in this life are challenges to improve us, to help us be better, um, to be critical thinkers of where we are and where we need to go. If this is you and you want to chime in, I need to hear you. I need to hear your thoughts on why these things exist. Uh, let's see. Okay. Now feel free to jump in anytime you like. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear what you think about is going on in the communities. You know, I've been in this business almost 40 years, in one way or another, in one form of government or the other. At this point, we have to look at where we are in this dispensation of time when we have all these changes going on in the world. Do you ever think that we'd be living in a time where the dollar would be no more? We'd be talking about digital, Fed now, and Fed coins, and Bitcoins, and all these other things. Has you ever thought about the fact that things are changing and then looked at where you are in that change? More importantly, what can we do about it? If you're filling the prisons, either it has been the society, the educational system, the political system, and others that have impacted your lives so much that it's not neither developmental nor positive for you. Therefore, you need to make a change in your own mind and heart first, then others. Self first, then others. And so I just wanted to really have this discussion and unpack this with us because it's something we need to talk about. So that we really need to talk. I want to invite anyone to jump in so that we can unpack this, have this discussion.